We haven't talked a lot about WoW, and I think that we should get into it. Not much to talk about. True.
The problem with Blizzard Entertainment is they really struggle to make a good anymore. Don't you guys think? Overwatch 2 is just a copy-paste of the original game.
Here, I'll reset it.
Is a complete... The problem with Blizzard Entertainment is they really struggle to make a good game anymore. Don't you guys?
See, like, that would be a big problem if you were a game development company, and the problem that you have is you can't make good games. That's like, on like a problem scale, really high up there.
Think? Overwatch 2 is just a copy-paste of the original game. Diablo Immortal is a complete dumpster fire with its microtransactions,
you had to pay for
allowing
the
you
fire.
to quite literally pay to win the game. World of Warcraft has been a joke for some time now, and overall the mood in the community is that Blizzard has just completely lost their touch. And if nothing else, they certainly have lost their touch with connecting with their audience. You guys...
Well, that's what it is. Like, they're touching the money, not the audience.
Me, and all of us. Now, many of you sitting here are probably ready to comment, or have already left a comment, that WoW is a dead game. Move on. It's over.
Move on.
But I wouldn't say that just yet. In fact, I would say that we who remain, those of us holding on to the last shreds of hope, are perhaps on the precipice of World of Warcraft's final stand. But before we get into this video...
God, bro, like, okay, for sure, guys, it's only gonna get better from here. This straight up, at the beginning of this reminds me of, like, remember whenever fucking the election happened, and everybody was posting, it's like, oh, 2 more weeks, and Trump's gonna be president again, and Biden's gonna be in jail. It was, like, just such strong fucking copium, and, like, everybody knew this shit wasn't real, but they just kept believing it.
What the possible future and the end of this game is going to look like, we have to thank today's sponsor.
Okay,
this video was sponsored by Bloodline, Heroes of Lithas. This video was...
Bad timing.
Sponsored by Bloodline, Heroes of Lithas. Are you ready for a new strategic card-based mobile RPG game set within a rich fantasy universe of orcs, elves, lycans, and demons? Then, my friends, this game may just be for you. If you are ready, click the link down below in the description and prepare yourself. I wish these phone games were actually good. To Bloodline, Heroes of Lithas, featuring beautiful 3D graphics, action-packed gameplay, fast-paced combat, easy-to-use controls, and a unique air system.
Because, like, am I the only person that, like, I see the animations and, like, the characters and like, the trailers, and it's like, this game looks pretty cool.
A large variety of champions as you play the game. Make them more powerful over time, and then marry some of them together, combining their traits and skills through Bloodline's legacy system to create
the West Virginia simulator.
Ready to be raised and prepared for the fires of Bloodline's rich world.
Oh my God.
And with your roster of champions now in hand, embark on this grand adventure to become the leader of the City of Light, the High Guardian in the world of Lithas. We keep it in the family, brother. This game has just been released to the public, so if you would like to check it out, again, click the link down below in the description, or
I wish
scan
these
the
games
QR
were
code
good,
on your screen right now. And if you decide to delve into the adventures of Bloodline, why not use my promo code BLDHOL1?
The best part about this is the fact that, like, every single one of these games, they all have, like, these, like, really hot girls that you can buy in the game.
To get you started with a champion token, 100,000 gold, and 100 free diamonds. Whether you're a fan of collecting heroes, legacy systems in video games, action-packed combat, or just managing your own population in a fantasy universe, Bloodline Heroes of Lithas has much to offer to anybody who is ready to check out a new and epic mobile adventure. I remember being a young Nixxiom, laying in bed many days, thinking about what the end of World of Warcraft might look like.
I never thought about that.
The universe, the lore, raiding with my friends, role-playing, doing PvP, all of it. The game just felt so perfect with its community, full of inside jokes, caring developers, and future expansions to always look forward to. I remember wondering how it would all end.
I never thought about that. I never, back whenever WoW came out, I never thought to myself, oh man, I wonder what it's going to be like whenever it ended. Because, like, I just figured that at some point I would stop playing the game and play another game. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to play this game. It's great. And maybe in the future, play another game, and that'll be great too.
I move on and just grow bored of Azeroth, or would the game ultimately reach its end on its own? And if so, how? I always assumed it would be at the hands of another MMO, perhaps a Star Wars MMORPG, if I had to guess at the time. Never would I have imagined that World of Warcraft's death would
be to weebs. How could it have died of all the things to bring the game low? It would be the weebs that did it.
The hands of the very company that created it. Like a child, Blizzard seemed to nurture this game, its universe and community, so the idea of the company neglecting something that brought to them so much success seemed far-fetched and ridiculous.
I feel like
and yet here
people have to remember that back in even Burning Crusade and Vanilla, Blizzard fucked up so many things. These games have been mismanaged ever since the beginning. It's just that you might not have remembered them back then. Like it was so like dumb. Like they would make these decisions, like release stuff, like mechanics would be fucking bugged. Yeah, it's been fucked up for years, guys.
We are facing the reality that World of Warcraft might just be at its end.
And I think also people remember is like they play Burning Crusade, but you're not playing Burning Crusade, man. You're playing 2.4.3, I believe. 2.2, 2.1, 2.3. These were different games. Took a long time to get to 2.4.3, guys.
Dragonflight is on the horizon for launch this year, according to the recent announcements. Turns out the video I made recently on the release date potentially being leaked was wrong, so don't crucify me in the comments section over that. And we also have Wrath of the Lich King releasing soon, which many classic players have said will be their final expansion. Let's be honest, not too many people care about World of Warcraft past the death of everybody's favorite Warcraft 3 character, Arthas Menethil.
I think that's generally true.
The Lich King. So as you can see,
I think that's like Wrath of the Lich King is the thematic ending of all of the basically like there's a lot of like Warcraft 3 left a lot of unanswered questions. It's like what's going to happen with Illidan, what's going to happen with Arthas, and what's going to happen with the Burning Legion. So like BC, Wrath, and Legion, but mainly BC and Wrath, because like Burning Legion was just like kind of like a there wasn't a lot of personality behind them, right? Kil'jaeden was just like this evil bad guy. There was no real interactions you had with them that was anything more than him just basically being like an evil shadow. So like I think that whenever people beat Wrath, they felt like they beat the game and they tied up all of the story strands that Warcraft 3 left behind. I think that's what happened. Illidan died in Warcraft 3? No, Illidan did not die in Warcraft 3. Illidan was beaten by Arthas because Illidan was overconfident. My understanding is that Illidan underestimated Arthas and lost because of it. Because in my mind, Illidan is... Like, Illidan and Malfurion are like two of the most powerful characters in the whole story. I would say Illidan is like above pretty much any other fucking character. Arthas was very powerful, but Arthas was not the Lich King. Arthas just had Frostmourne. He was nowhere near as powerful as Illidan. No shot. Thrall could be... Thrall is not even in the same universe. Like, Malfurion is... like 2 or 3, like in the same way that like Thrall is more powerful than Garrosh in terms of like his magic abilities, that's how much more powerful Malfurion is than Thrall. Like Cenarius, well Cenarius is the one that trained them.
Situation
yeah,
here.
Medivh.
Shadowlands was a terrible expansion that drove away so many from World of Warcraft to games like Final Fantasy, Elder Scrolls Online, Star Wars The Old Republic, and other games. And if Dragonflight isn't a decent expansion full of fun and flavor to draw back in that lost population and re-hook them to the adventures of Azeroth, then World of Warcraft retail is going to officially be sunk. Now sure, there's still going to be people that are going to play it, but it will be nowhere near what it used to be in the past, or even nowhere near where it was over the past few years in terms of population. Legion will have been retail WoW's last big boom. Now for what it's worth, I do think Dragonflight could be a good expansion.
I think that Dragonflight has more potential to be a good expansion than BFA or Shadowlands did. I think that it has more potential, and the reason why it has more is because it's not trying to have more. It's not trying to up the ante. It's like, oh, you thought you could beat the jailer? Well, you're going to have some guy that's even more powerful than the jailer now. And then you've got 5 different systems. And it's like, yeah, they're just trying to build on the game. Think about how good WoW would be if WoW approached content like Path of Exile. If World of Warcraft approached content like Path of Exile did, it would be... Nobody would even know what any other MMO is. Like, it would be as big as it was in Wrath, if not bigger comparatively. But it doesn't. Yeah, that's what it is. It doesn't. You're right.
It has a relatively simple, down-to-earth and grounded story about going to a mysterious dragon island to fight classic World of Warcraft enemies we know and love.
Yeah.
Centaur make an appearance.
Yeah.
We see the Tuskar from Wrath of the Lich King. And of course, we're probably going to be killing a lot of evil dragons, I would expect.
Yes.
The story seems simple, one of exploration, adventure, and dragon riding and slaying. Who doesn't love a good story about going to kill a dragon? Anyone here a fan of The Hobbit by chance?
And yeah, that's what it is. Like, I don't want to have some fucking super, like, onion layers of complexity and motivations. I want to have Galakrond has been resurrected. He's really big, and we've got to get him. Well, why is he angry? I mean, who cares, right? It doesn't matter. But we've got to get him. There's no ulterior motive. There's no, I was doing it to help you. Galakrond is a cannibalistic, gigantic fucking dragon, and we have to blow him up with a nuclear bomb. Okay, sounds good. Let's do it.
Can't wait for Amazon to ruin Lord of the Rings. It's gonna be great. Blizzard's...
I actually, to be honest with you, I don't really care if Lord of the Rings sucks. This series sucks. Because I'm going to look at it the same as like Shadow of Mordor. Like, I watched gameplay of Shadow of Mordor, and I think I had like a 1 ring, but it was blue. It's like, fuck this fan fiction bullshit. If I wanted to look at this, I'd just go look at DeviantArt. Like, I don't give a shit about this. The fuck are you talking about? Like, you've got all this. Like, yeah, I'm not going to take it seriously. If it sucks, it's not that I'm sure the game might have been good. I just thought the lore was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Seems to be focusing on what works with Dragonflight. A simple storyline, classic fantasy, no real major changes or game-breaking ideas like garrisons. And what ideas they do have, they've stolen from other games like Guild Wars 2, aka Dragonflying. And as we all know, Blizzard is at their best when they are stealing ideas from other companies. Isn't that right, Games Workshop? Team Fortress...
Yes, it is, because wasn't Warcraft just derivative of Warhammer? And I think that even the name Azeroth and Mograine were also derivative of some book. Stolen ideas always taste better. Yes, that's what it is. To TF2? No, that's Overwatch 2. Yeah, it's a little bit different. How am I in every video? Because the thing is that, you know, sometimes people are like worried, like, I don't know if I want to add somebody's content into this video, right? It's like their content, it's their video. Like, everybody knows, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just put out whatever you want. And so that's why I'm like the content watcher on YouTube. Yeah, the top React streamer. There you go.
And you guys get the idea. But guys, Dragonflight is gonna have a lot to salvage. And let's be real. Shadowlands storytelling was complete ass, boring, and forgettable. And so Dragonflight needs to deliver something epic and memorable. Where Shadowlands had repetitive and dull features like Torghast,
I disagree. I think that Torghast had a tremendous amount of potential, and I hope that Blizzard continues to iterate and improve Torghast. I do not want to see Blizzard give up on Torghast. I don't want to see it happen. I think that islands were better. Good, bring those back too. Keep making the systems better. I think that Blizzard missed a tremendous opportunity with PvP Islands. PvP Islands was the first time that Blizzard successfully merged PvP and PvE content. And it actually was challenging and fun. It was really, really good. And Torghast is bad. I think that a lot of you guys, how many of you guys would have a more positive opinion on Torghast if you never had to have done it? You would just do it whenever you wanted. Because I think that's what it is. I don't think it's a problem with Torghast itself. I think partially it is. But the biggest problem is the fact that you have to do it.
Dragonflight's content will need to be engaging and worth boasting over.
Yeah.
And lastly, where Shadowlands added little in terms of creativity to World of Warcraft, Dragonflight's patch cycle will need to add more and more and more to the game to really entice players to keep playing, committing to the expansion, and having fun. And now
they just need to add more content into the game, things for people to do. Like, the Torghast boss rush was really good, but the problem with the Torghast bosses is that they were too one-dimensional. They were too one-dimensional. They had, like, maybe 2 or 3 different abilities. Like, you go back and, like, for example, like, go look at, like, Descaluda, right? For example, in Lost Ark. Descaluda, like, let's think about the mechanics that it has, right? It flies up, does the 2T, plus signs, and it lands. It can do, like, it can grab you. That's, like, one of the counter abilities. It can also cause the fire rings around it. It can do the thing where it attacks on the ground, and then it jumps back. It can charge up its abilities. It can grab a player and smash them onto the ground 2 times. It can do the spin around thing. It can do the slam on the ground where then it flies backwards. And these are just the ones that I can think of right off the top of my head. It probably has like 5 other abilities I didn't think of. I just recognize, the lasers as well. So you have like 10 mechanics that this fight has, and Torghast bosses have like 2 or 3. It sucks. The bosses suck. There's like 3 good bosses, and the rest, there's like actually probably 2 good bosses, and the rest suck. They're boring. That was the problem.
You have Wrath of the Lich King on the other hand, and that's a whole other story. Obviously, Wrath is considered World of Warcraft in its prime by many people across the globe.
They're wrong.
So it's only natural we're going to see a boom in Classic WoW's population size once the Wrath servers go live.
I think so too. I think a lot of people are going to come back and play Wrath. I'm obviously going to come back and play Wrath, and it's going to be fun. Like, I'm super excited for it, but I don't think it's going to be as good as people remember. The only thing that gives me some hope is that Blizzard is willing to make changes and alter the game.
Players will return, committed Classic players will jump ship from TBC, people who never played Wrath will check it out. Overall, the release should be successful. Death Knights,
it will be.
Northrend, the Lich King. There's a lot to look forward to. Classic fans are even getting a treat of Blizzard listening to the feedback over the past few years.
Yeah, they're buffing Naxx.
Deciding to keep LFD out of Wrath of the Lich King, despite its introduction.
I think that LFD is not super cool. I don't like LFD. I think that LFD for leveling dungeons is great. Like, for example, if you're like level 43, it's going to be super hard to find a group for something. So it's like if you have looking for dungeon, I feel like it's just... The problem is like the opportunity cost of trying to find a group is so high over just questing that nobody will ever choose to find a group. You could say that's a more of a core game design issue. I probably agree with you, but I think that's the reason why.
Into the game during this time. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. No more LFG spam. Naxxramas is apparently getting buffed. We are going to see an entirely new Wrath of the Lich King that is sure to win the hearts of many players worldwide. At least hopefully.
That's good.
But what happens next? Will Classic WoW just die after Wrath?
No, what I think they should do is they should take Classic WoW. I don't know, like, I feel like Burning Crusade is a better foundation to build the game off of. Like, if you look at, like, Vanilla WoW, Burning Crusade, and Wrath, I think Burning Crusade is the best foundation of the game. But I don't think it's Wrath. I think that it would be, like, Burning Crusade, Classic, like, interchangeably in different ways, and then Wrath is a little bit lower.
My recent video, Classic Plus could be the future of World of Warcraft. I went over exactly what I feel and what many people feel needs to be done in order to keep the Classic population alive and healthy after Wrath's release, and hopefully its success. If you'd like to check out that video, you can just click right up here. Because judging by all the positive praise that video received, I think you're going to enjoy it. At least, I think you'll enjoy what I and so many of us have suggested in regards to a future Classic Plus experience.
I want to see that.
So in conclusion, if Dragonflight fails to make an impact on the souls of potential World of Warcraft players worldwide, retail WoW is over. No king rules forever, and WoW will officially just slowly trickle down into oblivion. Maybe the expansion after Dragonflight...
My opinion is that WoW can afford to have 3 bad expansions after Dragonflight, and if they have 1 good expansion, people will come back and play the game. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, think about, for example... I went from, like, I think of, like, Call of Duty. The last Call of Duty I played before Warzone was Modern Warfare 2. I went, like, almost 10 years without playing any Call of Duty games, except for I played Black Ops, like, a few times. I didn't like it, and that was it. And then I came back to Warzone, and now I'm a Call of Duty fan again. Now I'm paying attention to Call of Duty again. And it took them 9 years. I stopped playing the game for a long time. Probably more than that. But, you know, the moment that they come out with a good game again, I'm there. I'm there. Absolutely. Yeah, a new Modern Warfare 2 coming? I know. I'm excited.
Flight could save the game, but if Dragonflight goes down as a terrible expansion, if the expansion fails, I think what funding will go into the next expansion, especially after Shadowlands, I don't think the funding is going to be there for another big expansion after Dragonflight, but I don't know. And there's Wrath of the Lich King, and yeah, sure, Wrath will probably be a big success for classic World of Warcraft and its community, but what happens next? Most of us don't really want to play Cataclysm or Warlords of Draenor, Battle for Azeroth, and all that stuff. So it's
if they made a PTR or something like this, like a private server where you could just be 85 with full Vicious or like Ruthless Glad gear or like Cataclysmic Glad gear, I feel like that server would pretty much always have, if it was a seasonal server, it would have people that would come back and play it for PvP. Cataclysm PvP, I think, was as good, maybe not quite as good, but it was 90% as good as Wrath was. And like, also, Cataclysm had rated battlegrounds. And rated BGs were huge, man. Yeah, a lot of people like Cataclysm PvP. I feel like a lot of the class design in Cataclysm was giving classes abilities that other classes had. I didn't like that. But overall, I thought the game was great. I did more PvP in Cataclysm than any other expansion. Like, it was a special, sorry, I pause again. It was a special moment in time whenever you would go out of the Kel'Thuzad Stormwind, and you would see in front of Stormwind, and there was like all of the rank 1 gladiators. Like, there was all the rank 1 gladiators dueling. There was like Mitch Jones posted up on his fucking mount, because like he would stand. I think this was Mitch, right? It was like Barry was there too. Barry played a monk. No, he didn't play a monk then. What the fuck did he play? Because I remember I declined Barry's application. I personally declined Barry's application to my guild in Dragon Soul. Because I said, this guy's a clown. He's gonna get his PvP gear, and he's gonna quit. And I told Barry, I'm like, Barry, I declined you. This is like, 8 years later after we knew each other. He's like, yeah, that's what I was gonna do. He's like, that's exactly what I was gonna do. I fucking knew it, man. Yeah, I'll have to go back. Maybe somehow I'll be able to find his old application. And yeah, like Mitch was out there, and it was a great time. Like Cataclysm, and that's when like all of like the big legends like Swifty, Athene, you had like Bajira started making videos around then. Like Cataclysm PvP was whenever shit was happening, man.
The expansion's coming out,
or Redfall wasn't on my server.
Commit maybe to the funding and the idea of making a completely overhauled Classic Plus experience, giving to us updated, new feature-filled Classic stuff that will blow the minds of even those of us who have played through Classic multiple times. I mean, what else are they going to do? Either way, all I'm really trying to say is this, guys. This is perhaps the last breath of World of Warcraft. Everything hinges on whether or not Dragonflight delivers and what happens after Wrath of the Lich King. I never thought laying in my bed all those years ago.
That is scary, isn't it? Oh my God. I think that they're going to be able to make it work. I don't think it's going to be that hard for them. There's a lot of people that work at Blizzard that know what they're doing, and I think it'll be fine. It seems like what they're doing with Dragonflight is good. I haven't heard... Have we heard one bad thing about Dragonflight? That's. I think this is a good metric to go off of. Have we heard one bad thing about Dragonflight? No. That's really good. Think about that. Like, everybody, like, leading into every expansion, there was a massive system with a huge problem that the developers were intent on ignoring. Whether that was Azerite armor, whether that was fucking removing tier sets in BFA, whether that was covenants, this was a massive problem. So yes, I'm cautiously optimistic.
That this moment would come. Here it is. I can't even make a proper prediction on what is to come.
Yeah, me too.
I can only hope that maybe just maybe, my favorite game still has a few surprises left in store for us. Prizes that will ignite the same wonder in me today the game did all those years ago. When
you're chasing something that doesn't exist. It's not going to have that because you're not 16. It's sad. I feel the same way. It's not gonna do that. It's gonna be a good game though. I hope. That's it. Isn't it being released too early? How do we know it's too early?
First was adventuring Azeroth, Outland, and Northrend, making a name for myself.
God damn it, sorry guys.
In this epic fantasy universe I grew to love. Guys, thank you for watching the video. Please give it a like, leave a comment on what you think the future of World of Warcraft might look like, and I will see you all with my next video.
That was good. Yeah, I think that was good. Yeah, you see Alpha for Dragonfight within the next 3 weeks? I hope so. Whenever it comes out, I'm going to play it. I'm very excited about that. They need to bring WoW to Xbox. I think one of the best things that could happen for WoW is if it got put on the Game Pass. Because like if it got put on the Game Pass, it would be such a tremendous value add for Microsoft, and it would give them a massive incentive to continue to make WoW good. Like if they put WoW on the Game Pass, I will be so happy. Like I will honestly, like if I could get a chance to talk to like Phil Spencer or any of the guys there, I would be like, please do this. Everybody in the community wants this. If it's financially possible, please, please, please do this. Yeah, WoW on controller. Well, you can have other ways to do it, and I think that they should make that. I think it would be better for WoW if it was playable on console, but I don't think they should compromise the core of the game. So it just doesn't really. I don't know. Works fine on controller. I know some people play it on controller. I do like this video. I feel like this is one of the videos where I'm kind of like depressed and sad watching it, because I do know it's like, yeah, I played WoW for like what? How long has it been now? Like 15, 16 years or something like that? And maybe 17. It's been a long fucking time. And to think about like not playing the game or the game dying is a little bit it's a little bit sad, but I mean, fuck, man. That's what happens with some games. But I do think that like I don't regret playing WoW for all the years that I played it. I don't regret a minute of it. I love the game. I had so much fun playing WoW for so many years. I still have fun playing the game. Fuck, I'm not sorry at all. Like, it was fucking fun, man. It was awesome. I always forget to do this sometimes, so I'll watch one other video right after that. This is a Nixxiom video. Here, let me link it to you guys so you're able to watch it. So, 2 hours more React. I don't know. It's going to be as long as it is.